David, thank you. Yes, some things get better with age, not usually NHL players into their 30s. So tonight we present an exception to that rule. Here's 35-year-old Mark Giordano, whom many think is a front runner for the Norris Trophy. We're going to get to that in a second. But first, how was Christmas for you, Lauren, and the kids, Jack and Reese?
Yeah, it was great getting to spend a few days together. Unfortunately, we didn't go back out east, but
there's Jack, right?
There's Jack, yeah, with Santa at the Dome there. But we didn't go back out east just because of the time. But good couple of days together. We had a
Reese, I understand, refused to get on Santa's lap.
Yeah, she was having no part of it for sure. But yeah, we had a couple of the guys who stayed back over our place Christmas Eve, so we had a good time and a lot of fun.
She had a few more kids over.
Yeah. Rhodes had his little one over, and no, we just enjoyed it and relaxed and had a good time, and it goes by quick.
All right, tonight's overtime loss aside, you got a point, but that aside, to the brilliant season that you're enjoying, that many think will lead you to the Norris Trophy. So the question is from Leah Kessel. With the numbers you are putting up, do you feel that this is the best you have ever played?
I don't know about that. I think I've been trying to get better, obviously, every year. But my main goal is honestly to get into playoffs and play playoff games, as many as I can, obviously. And the points this year, playing with great players, we're scoring a lot of goals as a team. But for sure, I'm just trying to be consistent and play against other teams' top lines night in and night out and try and shut them down. So it's obviously everyone loves to score goals and put up numbers. And I got put on the first power play unit this year with 4 guys who are great players, and they're all having great years as well. And you get a lot of touches with them, so it's going well.
Just saw your case for the Norris Trophy, plus 22. Louis.
That's the one that stands out for me, is the plus 22. And you mentioned it, Mark, that you go up against the top every night, and that's the matchup that you have. And that, to me, just shows the complete defenseman that you are, that you can put up the points you put up, but you can shut down as well.
Yeah, honestly, you feel great as a defenseman on those nights when you can come out of a game 2 or 3 over par against the better lines in the league. So I take a lot of pride in that, and with that, I've always believed you play well defensively, you get those points, you get those numbers offensively, they come. So no, just trying to stay fast, stay quick out there, and all these young guys are flying around these days, so it's tough.
You might well have won the Norris Trophy, Mark, back in 2015, but you tore your bicep and that cost you 21 games. But win it or not, your story is irresistible. Undrafted player, goes on to be Flames captain, one of the most important players in franchise history. We've got a graphic here of games played by the Flames, and you're number 4 on it. So who'd have thought that possible back in 2004 when a pro hockey career really wasn't in the plans for you? What would you have been doing if the Calgary Flames, there you go, number 4, 792, just ahead of Theo Fleury now, and you'll catch Al McGinnis this year and maybe Robin Regeer as well. Well, obviously Robin Regeer barring injury. But back in 2004, hockey career was not part of your plans. What do you think you'd be doing right now if you hadn't received that late invitation by the Calgary Flames to their development camp?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I was signed up to go to York University in Toronto, and I was an overage player, so you get all the letters from the different universities across Canada. I wanted to still keep playing hockey for sure, but I signed up for an accounting program, and I would have went into that and saw where it took me. But I don't know, it all happened pretty quick, going pro and then getting a chance to play in the NHL. So it's hard to say what I would be doing. My career path could have took a few changes, but obviously I took a few risks along the way in hockey too, and it all worked out. So I'm very lucky.
This question's from Sam McKee. How does it feel to be having one of the best seasons ever by an Owen Sound Attack alumni?
Yeah, it feels great. Remembering the days in Owen Sound, I had 2 great years there, and just so many great people, such a great little town, and the year's going well.
There you haven't changed a bit.
Yeah, wow.
It's a great old barn,
it's a tough bucket, eh? But no, I had a ton of fun there, and we had great people, and Mike Stuthers was our head coach there, and Mike Futo was the GM, and there are 2 guys who really helped me learn how to play. Stutz was always preaching about good stick and good defensively, and they really taught me a lot and helped me along the way.
Your road less taken to the NHL has been well documented. You had those 2 seasons in which you starred for the Owen Sound Attack. What is often overlooked, though, is that you could have become a member of the Phoenix Coyotes. Here's a picture.
Yeah.
I think it was taken in 03, after your first year in
Oh,
Owen Sound.
God.
Wow.
And we'll let you explain it.
I don't know. It's a tough goatee there, I guess. But no, I went to their camp. I was, you know what? I learned a lot there, though. I wasn't in great shape. I thought I was in great shape, but cardio-wise and the way you have to be in shape to play at this level, I wasn't even close, and learned a lot. They taught me a lot, and I was sent back fairly quickly, and it was an eye-opener for sure. So learned a lot, and I think from that point on, I took fitness really seriously.
So you get the invitation to the Flames development camp in 04, and when you showed up, Rich Hesketh, who was then the Flames strength and conditioning coach, said this of you. He said, Gio can bench press a house, but he has no idea how to train. What did he mean by that?
Yeah, well, he was right. I think I had the record for the bench press max in camp that year, but go up and down the ice a few times, I'd be gassed and out of, make mistakes because you're tired. And I learned a lot from Rich. He was a great trainer and taught me a lot about training to be a hockey player and not training to go and sit on a beach.
Louis.
It really is remarkable how much of a difference it is too, and I think we all kind of did that as young players. You wanted to get bigger and stronger, and you did all the compound movements. But for you, it was about just changing everything that you did and having a different philosophy with it.
Yeah, well, you know what, the rules changed too a little bit, and then there wasn't as much clutching and grabbing. The games become so much quicker too. So like when I first came in, I remember Daryl Sutter saying, "Get bigger, get stronger, get quicker." And you had to battle in front of the net and all that, and seal out and all those things as a D-man. And now it's become about being quick and fronting shots and all those little things. So I've obviously changed the way I work out and geared it more now towards the speed of the game and being quick out there.
Here's something that we found on the internet, and that's where we get all our information. So that means, of course, it has to be true. This is a composite photo, and the caption on it was the evolution of Mark Giordano in 1 year, from 2015. I think we have it here, from 2015 to 2016. Is this accurate, or is this an optical illusion?
I think it was a good shirt to be
Rough in that picture on the right.
The shirt's tucked in, maybe.
Start of the summer, end of the summer.
Yeah. No, I had a good summer, I guess. I never saw that one before.
Anyway, now at the age of 35, you're 200 pounds with 7% body fat, roughly the equal of Louis and mine. You're almost religiously committed to your conditioning. So back to the internet we go for this video. This is you pushing a Porsche across the parking lot, just as you'd expect to see most NHL stars doing in the off-season. What's the reason and the goal here?
So my trainer at the time there, Christian was his name, he's like, I drove in with this Porsche, and he's like, "Oh, that's a nice car, let's put it to use." And he said, instead of doing sled pushes, we're going to do truck pushes. And I didn't really know what he meant, and that's what he meant. You know what? It's tough to get it going, but once you get going, you can get it. You could get the truck moving pretty quick. So it looks a lot harder at this point than it was, but a really good workout for sure.
True or false? Bill Peters earlier this season had to hide your skates to keep you from practicing and force you into a rest day.
Yeah, it was true. I mean, I think it's no secret now with the guys that I love skating, especially pre-game skates, and it was sort of an optional day, and. Yeah, Billy didn't really give me the option. He called me in and had my skates with him.
Louis has found a particular piece of your training equipment.
Well, you talked about cardio, and this morning when we talked about it, you said that was the one thing you really had to attack and get better at when you make mistakes. And this is the bike we were talking about here, the air bike. This is an assault air bike. Is that similar to the one that you use?
That's the one. That's the exact one.
And you're incorporating your arms as well as your legs, and you said that's been the ticket for you to take it to the next level.
Yeah, I think my cardio's gone up huge with that machine. I think working out. I've been working out with Monty the past 3-4 summers, and staying around those young guys. It keeps you fresh. You love coming in. He's such a hard worker too, on and off the ice, and he's a competitive guy. So we battle on the cardio machines, and man, he's a machine. He's actually has the edge on me cardio wise.
Really?
So I try to keep up with him, but it's kind of tough. Honestly, he's great at it.
I listened to a podcast you did with our colleague Ryan Leslie not that long ago, and I was particularly struck by one story. It was about your season with Moscow Dynamo in 07-08, when the Flames would not give you a one-way deal. You stood your ground, went to the KHL, which, by the way, was very good for you. But share with us the story of the coach being fired and the belief that his wife had put a hex on the team.
I honestly, it was funny. We lost 3 in a row, and I didn't speak the language, so I couldn't tell really, but I knew the pressure was on for that team to be really successful. And so we fired our coach and hired a new coach. We went on I think a 7-game losing streak with the new coach, and we drove up on a team bus into a small little town into a Russian Orthodox church, and we had all our sticks on the bus, and I was like, what's going on, to one of the Russian guys who spoke English, and he said, well, we're going to go in and get our sticks blessed because we have a curse on us from the ex-coach's wife. The team believed, I guess.
You had to do it.
Is this Bull Durham or Slapshot, or is this reality?
But honestly, we went in, we did it, and me and Jamie Lundmark was there at the time, and we had a good laugh about it. But we went out the next night and won 2-1.
Wow.
And I'll never forget that.
All right, and this question then is from 40. When you left HC Dynamo Moscow in 2007 or 8, whatever the year was, I think it was 8, wasn't it?
I believe it was 2008. Yeah.
Did you actually see yourself rejoining the Flames organization again, or did you assume you'd have to start fresh elsewhere?
No, I believed I was coming back. I had a few good conversations with Daryl, and I played in the Spengler Cup, and that's when talks sort of picked up again. And I had good conversations with him. He was honest with me. I was honest with him, and I always have had a ton of respect for Daryl because he could have went and been sour at me and sort of buried me, and if he wanted to, but he gave me a fair chance. I got a 3-year contract with the Flames after that, and I really gained a lot of confidence in myself, I think, through that whole process.
Last thing before we go to break, and it's back to current events for a moment, which are a long way away from praying for a hex to end, but you could become just the 3rd defenseman in the NHL at the age of 35 to post an 80-point season, for which you're on pace. The other 2 are Nick Lidstrom. He did that with the Wings in 06, Ray Bourque with Boston in 96, so this is very distinguished company. Do you feel as fresh now as you did in, say, your mid-20s?
I really do. I do feel fresh out there. I feel good. I feel like I've really worked on trying to stay fast and stay in good shape as I've gotten older. I take a lot of pride, but 80 points, a point every night is it's something special, and it's really tough to do in this league. And I think you're already starting to see the games. At the start of the year, there are a lot of high-scoring games, a lot of shootouts, and they're starting to tighten up. And 2-2 going into overtime tonight. I think that's going to be the score, 3-2 games for a lot of the year. So, to be honest, I know it's cliche to say that. I just honestly want to help the team be successful every night. We're having a good season so far. I want to play in playoffs and get into playoffs and be successful there.
All right, Mark Giordano, the captain of the Calgary Flames, is our guest on After Hours. When we come back, his place in the community and Gio or Joe are up for discussion at Scotiabank Saddledome in Calgary.